Hello everybody, I am your host Henry Galliett and welcome back to Galliett Reviews, and this time I'm going to be taking a look at Christopher Nolan's new film, Tenet, and I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed by this movie. That's not to say it's a bad film. I actually think the ending is actually quite clever, and there's some really phenomenal action scenes, and the score I thought was pretty solid, but overall it just kind of felt like a hollow experience, which I was a bit disappointed by. And I know people accuse Christopher Nolan films of being kind of empty and hollow, like emotionally, but I disagree. Actually, I thought Inception was like a very emotional film from my perspective, especially the Cobb character and his wife. That really just kind of felt very new to me. And though, yeah, he does recycle a couple of plot points, but again, like most directors do that. But here, this kind of felt like the most Christopher Nolan movie he's ever made, and I don't think that's like to its advantage here. To start off, I think the main issue of this whole film is that the protagonist of the film isn't given a lot of depth, and we get to like dig deep into this character like we did like the Interstellar character played by Matthew McConaughey, or even Cobb from Inception, or I would argue The Dark Knight. Like I know a lot of people like don't like the Batman that thing, but I think Christian Bale like really gives him more human touch, and here you just don't get that from John David Washington, which is a disappointment because I thought he was like a very great actor. He's a great actor. He's the son of Denzel Washington, and I thought he was really phenomenal in the film Black Klansman. But here, he's just kind of given like a very empty performance, and that's not to say like his other cast members don't do a great job around him. It's just he kind of doesn't really have a lot to work with, and I kind of put a lot of that blame onto the writing, not exactly him, but the writing, the story there. And though it does kind of pay off near the end, it just kind of like drags a little bit there. But other than that, the other performances were pretty good as well. Like I thought Robert Pattinson did a great job as his sidekick character. I forgot the name of his character, honestly. By the way, John David Washington's character doesn't have like a name, so that's kind of a strike against it in my books. But Robert Pattinson was good. Kenneth Branagh, who's the director of 4, plays the villain in the piece, and I thought he was actually a pretty menacing character, and he actually had a lot of depth, something that I thought John David Washington's character didn't have. And also, I thought Elizabeth Debicki did a phenomenal job as well. So all the performances beside John David Washington I thought were pretty good, and I don't know how I feel about that. And also, one other thing that should be said about the film is that the sound mixing is absolutely horrible. It is not really good at all. Like I would give it an F. You can barely hear what they're saying, and it doesn't help the fact that they're like wearing masks for most of the time, and you can't barely hear like the dialogue from the pieces, and that becomes a big problem sort of engaging with the story here. But other than that, I guess it's okay. Like I did like the time travel elements of the piece. I thought that was pretty interesting, and plus the lighting and the coloring with the blues and the reds. I thought that was like pretty intriguing stuff. But overall, it just felt very hollow. It felt like a lesser version of Interstellar from like a very like unhoned director. And I expect more from Christopher Nolan. So out of 10, I'm gonna give this a 6.3 out of 10. I know it's a very low scale for my thing, but I still liked it in parts. But overall, it just kind of. And hopefully Christopher Nolan learns a lot from this piece, and I hope we can sort of get back to like movies like Dunkirk, and I even would say Interstellar is probably one of his better movies, and Inception and stuff like that, and Prestige, but this time we didn't land. So that's my review for Tenet, guys. Come back here for some more reviews. Gonna be posting a lot of them. Thank you and have a good one. Goodbye.